2 men, 13 multi-million-dollar businesses, 8 kids, 1 business coach radio show. It's the Thrivetime Business Coach Radio Show. Get ready to enter the Thrivetime Show.
That's it. Bombs away.
All right, Thrive Nation, welcome back to the conversation. It is the Thrivetime Show on your radio and podcast download. Now, on today's show, we are doing yet another knowledge bomb. And a knowledge bomb is where we get to the point of a subject pretty quick. It's pretty short. It's pretty snappy. And we want to teach you just one principle. So, Chup, can you tell us what we're talking about today?
Driving the wrong way on the freeway. How to stand out in a crowded marketplace.
Okay, so I explained this to someone at the workshop, and they said, oh, man, the light bulb went off. Here we go. In whatever city you live in, there is a major interstate or a major highway. In Tulsa, the major intersection where most of the traffic happens is Highway 169, where it converges with the BA Expressway. The Broken Arrow Expressway and Highway 169, that's probably the most traffic. The most traffic is there, and then downtown at the interdispersal loop. The point is that if you find those big traffic areas, like where 169 meets the Broken Arrow Expressway, I've thought about this a lot because I'm in the process of looking into billboards for the Thrivetime Show. And so, anyway, that's where the traffic is. Everybody's driving home to Broken Arrow or driving home to South Tulsa. That's, Chup, you know what I'm talking about. Where Broken Arrow Expressway meets 169.
It's brutal.
That's where the traffic is right there.
Yep.
All right?
Yep. Tons of cars.
So if you wanted to get people's attention with your billboard, you would want to put it right there.
Right.
Because that's where the traffic is. Now, if you put up the same billboard and you did it in a country road in Inola, very few people would see it because the traffic in Inola is significantly less. So
right.
In Inola, there's very few people that live in Inola, Oklahoma.
I know less people will be seeing that billboard.
Chuck, that's pretty impressive how you did it so far. But Inola, Oklahoma is a town with a population right now of 1,700 people, according to the last census. 1,700 people, according to the last census. And so if you're in Inola, the chances of you seeing the billboard are less, but if you're at 169 in the Broken Arrow Expressway, it's higher. So if you want to stand out in a crowded marketplace, first off, be where the traffic is. That's action step 1 today. I want to put that on the show notes. Action step 1 is figure out where the traffic is and be there. Figure out where the traffic is for your ideal and likely buyers and be there. Ask yourself, where are my ideal and likely buyers? Do not be on an obscure country road. Be on the freeway. Now, if you are on the freeway where all of the traffic is, if you want to stand out, this is not a literal thing to do. This is not, don't do this literally. This is figuratively speaking. But Chup, if you did drive the wrong way down the road, hugging the shoulder on 169, headed northbound when the road is going southbound.
Yes.
If everyone's driving south and you're driving north on the shoulder, and you were in a vehicle painted with purple cow print, how long do you think you would have to drive before everyone would notice you, or before everyone would start to pull over, before the cops would show up? I mean,
yeah, not very long. There's a lot of traffic right there, and you are going to stand out like a sore thumb.
People would, though, talk about it.
People will notice. They'll tell each other. They'll be Facebook living you as you drive by, and that's it. If you want to be remarked about, you have to be remarkable.
So you want to drive the opposite direction of everybody else if you want to get their attention once you find the highway where everybody is. But when you're driving the wrong way, you want to make sure you're not driving off an incomplete bridge.
Right.
Because a lot of times they'll start construction on a bridge and it's not completed, and there's a gap where if you drove over it, you would fall to your death because there's nothing, the bridge isn't completed yet. And so I see a lot of people driving against the traffic for the purposes of standing out. You nailed that part right. You nailed the part right that you are on a busy highway, but you driving backwards the way you're driving is so dangerous and the bridge is incomplete, that you're going to die.
Let me break this down. Tell me
Sure.
if I'm following with you. So it would be like if you're running an awesome no-brainer, say like Elephant in the Room's $1 first haircut,
Right.
but you're not tracking the results of those people coming in for that golden look. Therefore, you don't know if the company can even stay solvent because we don't know if we're hitting the quota of memberships that we have to sell. Does that make sense? That would be the hole in the bridge, would be the fact that you're not tracking the success or failure of the people that we're getting in with the no-brainer. Does that make sense?
So what I want to do for all the listeners out there is I want to encourage you right now. To take the time to think about where is the highway? Where is all the traffic? Take the time today and figure out where are my ideal and likely buyers at? Where are they? What stores do they shop at? What zip codes do they live in? What television shows do they watch? What schools do they attend? Where do I need to market if I want to market to these people? Where are your ideal and likely buyers? Step 2, you've got to stand out. If everybody's doing a flyer and they're posting and they all look about the same, you got to make your flyer stand out. I remember at Oral Roberts University, all the flyers that people put out to promote things were always done on white paper with black text. So, Chuck, what kind of paper do you think I bought to get the attention of the students who often check the bulletin board?
Black paper with white text.
In this case, I did neon, but you got the idea.
That works.
Making it stand out.
Right.
I did neon paper. It stood out, and everybody noticed it, and it worked.
From the last conference we were at, we had a gentleman who was a very, very large man.
The
7
colossal
feet tall,
plumbing, yes.
Colossal plumbing, and you gave him a great idea. Hey, to stick out, your business card should be the size of a piece of paper.
Right.
Like you should just have massive invoices and massive business
I'm not
cards.
kidding. That's
and it
what
would
you
be
should do.
hilarious. I've laughed about it 3 times since the conference.
Have a massive pen that you use to
It
sign
was so
things.
funny, like the giant one you get at school and the pencil.
You're right. I mean, that's a move. So again, figure out
perfect.
where the traffic is and be there. 2, stand out in the crowd. But 3, make sure your no-brainer makes sense financially.
Right.
Make sure your no-brainer makes sense financially for you. And you hit on it with the elephant in the room example. And I have nothing else to add to that other than I'm just making sure we're clarifying the principle. Make sure that your no-brainer makes sense financially. And so now without any further ado, as always, Chuck, 3, 2, 1, boom.